Well, we just watched episode 12 of season 2 of Gotham, Wrath of the Villains, called Mr. Freeze. It was a Mr. Freeze heavy episode, spoiler alert. So what have we learned? Well, how do you want to tell if Jim is lying? He talks louder. Do you have anything to tell me, Jim? No, sir, I do not. Why are you talking so loud, Jim? Are you sure? I am sure. Not a very good louder. Not a very good louder. Not a very good liar. Love to play poker with him. Anyway, what else did we learn? Well, the bromance between the Riddler, or the pre-Riddler, the Priddler, and the Penguin continues. The Riddler going to visit him in jail. I half expected him when he was being hauled away to say, "I'll wait for you," but he didn't. Oh well. And lastly, didn't really learn this, but this is what I surmise. What is Mr. Freeze's favorite dinner? Frozen TV dinners, of course. Come on. I'm Chad Perkins, and this is After Gotham. Come on. I forgot how we intro the show. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Hello, and welcome to After Gotham, the show that films sometime after Gotham. I'm your host, Chad Perkins, and with me on the frosty red couch of coldness, even though it's red, from the Combat Guild, actually, podcast and video cast, and a new show coming up. We'll talk about that in just a second. At D. Cottingham21 on Twitter, he is David Cottingham. Dave.
Boom.
Yeah, you got a new show coming out, and I know this because I'm on it.
You are.
It's about Star Wars.
That's absolutely right.
Give us a quick...
We are making holocrons.
Making holocrons, that's right.
We're feeding the knowledge, asking some very important questions that maybe not everybody knows about. And we're going to educate people so that they can look back on this series and say, hey, who was that girl in the Mos Eisley Cantina?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's who it is.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Lars.
Selena
Selena or something like that? Yeah.
We already forgot.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. Yeah, but check that out on this channel. We're back.
We are.
Gotham is back. This is Wrath of the Villains. We had Rise of the Villains.
Right.
Second half of season 2 is Wrath of the Villains, and our first episode was aptly named Mr. Freeze, because it had Mr. Freeze in it.
Yeah.
Spoilers. First impressions, Dave.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I feel like DC has really gained a lot of momentum in their TV series. Especially this season. And I was, the first half of the season we were really happy with. I thought Rise of the Villains was really good. But, when you have a big break like this, I'm talking weeks.
Yeah.
It's hard to really think about how good it's going to be when it comes back, and you kind of almost forget about what happened last season, right? Because it is truly almost like a new season. Basically, the whole Galavan thing is over with. So you don't have to really remember too much, really, what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some things which they easily kind of recapped in the first part of this episode, but I like how they introduced the new story already, and it feels like they're off and running, and I think it's gonna be a pretty good season, big second half of the season.
Yeah. Well, before we get into our analysis and breakdown play-by-play of the episode, actually, I think we have, what is this, another contest coming?
Oh, yeah, I guess I was going to announce it later, but
let's do it here while people are
right in. Yeah, contest.
The cat video.
That's the new thing that's the big thing about the 21 Network now. We're going to try to get some more contests, more giveaways. I thought let's throw out kind of the same thing we did on our show, Inside the Force, on the Star Wars show. Send us some questions through Twitter. Follow us obviously, but then so hit us up with hashtag. I was going to tell you. I was going to say come up with the hashtag After Gotham. I guess
After
right.
Gotham.
Well, AF question, I think, is what maybe we should do. AF question. Send us your questions.
And what's the F stand for?
Or I'm sorry, AG. God. What the?
We have been gone for a while.
Yeah. I had ITF, I think, in my head.
After Gotham, AG question.
AG. Gotham. After Gotham, so AG question. Hashtag it. Send it to us. If you read it on the show next week, then we'll give away. And I was going to give away. I'll start off by giving away. I don't think we've done this, right? I think we've done trades before.
Yeah.
But I want to send somebody the Batman New 52 figure.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And we might even probably pick a couple of them.
Are people who are on the show eligible for the contest?
No.
Okay.
Because someone's got something more valuable already that you don't need to worry about.
Yeah.
But so send us your questions. We'll sift through them, and then Chad will obviously pick them. And if we read them on the show, like I said, we may pick a couple of them if they're good, and we'll send you a little treat.
Boom. Well, there you go.
Little
Very
figures.
Nice. Kicking off the second half of the second season with a bang or a freeze. I don't know. Yeah. What did you think of this in the beginning? I mean, it was helpful for the audience because we were flashing back to what Gordon was doing months and months and months ago. But you were kind of commenting about this before. How did you feel about all the Gordon, is he going to get caught drama there in the very beginning?
Yeah, I felt like they did maybe one too many scenes on that. You know, it was Captain Barnes.
Yeah, Captain Barnes.
Yeah. So it just felt like Barnes was like standing there looking at him like each time and waiting, and him and Dent had that comment like do you believe him? And so I felt like each scene it just kept coming like, oh my God, he's gonna get caught. He's gonna get caught this time. He's gonna get caught this time. And then finally, when obviously Penguin gets caught, they I mean, in the end, he still kind of is suspicious. He doesn't believe that it's the Penguin.
Well, he doesn't have a very good poker face either.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's very anxious.
Yeah,
very on edge.
Sir. No, sir, I do not.
And then he hesitated when he asked him. He's like,
"Hold on, I'm having a flashback." Oh, that's how.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I choose to believe because that's the truth.
All right.
Sir.
So I was a little taken aback by that, just because I would have been okay with just that first scene in the interrogation room. Because he was pretty defiant in there, telling Dent, no, I wasn't there. And then if he's gonna, I mean, he knew, he had to have known when he pulled the trigger that he had to defend this story. You know what I mean? That if he was gonna live with that and move on, which I'm still a little even surprised.
Yeah. Obviously,
I mean,
people,
are you?
I am. Well, some people say when we'll often compare the show, ask how it varies or goes along with the comic book, and some people have commented, it's a TV show, it's different, they're doing things different. Just we like to see both sides of the coin,
right?
But obviously, something like this hasn't happened in the comic, has it?
Not that I know where he's.
Yeah.
No, he
just straight up
kills somebody. Yeah. No.
So obviously a different spin on it, which is appreciated.
But even it's a different also spin of the character we've learned in the first season, right? Because he didn't kill Penguin, and he had those instances where he just didn't kill, even when Flamingo, right? I mean he.
Eduardo Flamingo.
Yeah, I mean he had him right there, and he didn't do it. So it's like, now because I guess, Penguin convinced him, I don't know, or, kidnapping, almost killing Bruce, was that the final straw, and then, so when he did it, it was surprising that they actually went down that road, because it would have just made more sense if Penguin would have done it, you know what I mean?
Seemed like Penguin would have wanted to.
Well, Penguin, I would have thought he would have done it, yes.
Yeah.
Because he killed his mom, for for sure.
I mean, he did beat him pretty badly.
He did.
It seemed like he would have wanted to have finished it. What did you think of the Penguin not turning in? Well, I don't think, obviously wouldn't have turned him in, but he had some leverage there. Instead, he confessed to a murder that he actually didn't commit, and now he's at Arkham for it. What do you think is going on, and what's his motivation?
Yeah, that part really did confuse me because it's obviously one of two things. He thinks that he's either given up and truly believes he has nobody out there. He was kind of living on the streets there for a little bit, and he's kind of given up and seeing what he can do. Maybe he can get into Arkham and build a crew out of there. I don't know, or he has a plan.
Yeah.
That's maybe accumulating outside the walls, and then maybe they're going to free him or something like that. I don't know, So, no, that part's a little confusing.
Yeah.
I anticipated him being still on the run and not getting in Arkham. That's a whole nother.
Because I don't think he still thinks that he and Jim are ever going to have a future of friendship. I think that ship has sailed. So it was kind of odd.
I did think for a second there that Nigma was going to break him out.
Yeah, it was kind of going that way. Yeah. Now, Nigma, since he has turned into basically the Priddler, the pre-Riddler, he's not taking Bullock's guff anymore. We saw that in there, and yeah, he's having this romance with Penguin.
Yep.
You see this coming to pass of them teaming up, and
I do, and I'm again, I'm a little, maybe I don't know if a surprise, just a little shocked that he's still, I guess, doing police work. Well, I guess that's his job, right?
Yeah,
but with those psychotic tendencies and thoughts now, you would think he would be making riddles or doing something else, but they still, I think they have a plan for him still. So he's, like you said, he's pre-Riddler. He's not there yet. He's getting there, but he's not there yet.
Yeah, Priddler.
Priddler.
So we got a villain, obviously, new villain in this one.
We got two.
We did get two, yes. Looking a little bit less like Captain Cold than in the last episode before the break, I thought. He didn't
Captain Cold?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the last episode,
Mr.
Freeze looked a lot like Captain Cold.
Yes. Okay. Right.
Another DC villain.
That's right.
On another network.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this time he didn't really seem to be pulling off that look, which was good. Maybe they got maybe they heard that.
They might have. Yeah.
Possibly. But it looks like next episode though, we're getting full suit.
Got the outfit. Yeah.
So that's good. So what'd you think of this spin on Victor Fries and Nora?
Yeah, I liked it. I couldn't remember. Did they say he was a doctor or not?
Good question.
I don't think they did. He comes off of some kind of, but see, I think he's stealing the equipment, right? Or the technology. So I don't know if he's not creating anything, and it doesn't seem like he's a doctor or a scientist in this, really. So
well, he figured out how to do it when Hugo Strange, our second villain.
Yeah, well, yeah, he has some kind of gene. I don't know if he's got the PhD or nothing yet, or
I think he might, because he's got some smarts.
He might.
Yeah.
Tell me, forgive me if I missed that they called him a doctor at all, but I didn't think they did. But no, I do like the already having Nora being sick and trying to find a cure and trying to figure out not just a cure, but how to freeze her. See, this is the early parts where it's not even worried about the disease yet. This is worried about even, can I freeze her and bring her back to life? Which I was kind of thinking, honestly, partly was, why don't you go ahead and freeze her and then keep doing your experimenting until you figure it out, and then you can unfreeze. You know what I mean? Like,
what if he can't?
Well,
but
but then she's gonna pass.
Right.
She might pass before you get a chance to figure it out. I don't know. That crossed my head if he's thought about that or not.
Yeah.
But no, I think I like it. I think this is a good villain where you don't need Batman necessarily. You know, this is a good storyline where it's more about what's going on with him personally than it is just being like the Joker and kill everybody. He's got a reason. He's got a big reason to do what he's doing.
Yeah, and I hope we see Nora soon, frozen in kind of the the very animated series esque, where she's almost like in a snow globe type of thing. I hope we see that soon, because I always loved that. And I wanted his voice to go like it was in the animated series.
Now putting me in the cooler.
Not that voice. Not that voice.
Yeah, all right.
It's almost more like, you know who it's like? It's kind of like Kylo Ren.
Oh, right.
If you can think.
Yeah, sure.
Because it kind of talked like he was talking through a thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah. But, so let's just go ahead and talk about that second villain. We got B.D. Wong as Hugo Strange. A little different interpretation of him. I now think B.D. Wong is perfect for that role. He's very methodical, and he just has this demeanor about him.
Yeah. Hugo. I liked how he came off as Hugo Strange, and I don't know much about Hugo in the comics. I haven't come across him too much, and I haven't researched him enough. I really know him from the Arkham games.
Yeah.
Right. He was a big part of the Arkham City. And obviously he's in charge of this Indian Hill research facility, and all these villains that are in there. So it's interesting on where they're going to go with that. But either way, he does look like Hugo Strange, and I was a little questioned, because I don't think he ever was Asian,
Right.
and but he plays him really well, and he's got my attention for sure on this.
He's got the three things you need: bald, the Quaker type of beard, and the glasses.
The glasses. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, and he got the demeanor down too. I mean, he was very calm, and he knows his plan.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what he needs to do with because he has this kind of like. I think what I read, at least what he's done in the game. He's kind of. He's not really Batman. He's not really trying to fight Batman. He's just trying to create chaos, a little bit, and work on these villains to do what he kind of wants them to do, in essence. So, yeah, I gotta read up more on him. I gotta read some more books on him.
Now, did we know that Indian Hill was beneath Arkham? Had we already learned that?
Yes.
We had. Hadn't we? Had we?
Yes. Oh, maybe we didn't.
I don't think we did.
Oh,
We'd always just seen in Indian Hill.
You're right. I don't know.
But we didn't know that there was an elevator straight down from Arkham to there. So I think that's some new information, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's interesting. I think we always thought that Hugo Strange was going to be behind Indian Hill, but we didn't know that he was also the face of Arkham Asylum. So that's interesting. Now, what did you gather from the scene where Oswald saw the patient that Hugo Strange was talking to earlier about? What was it? See no evil. See no.
See no evil.
Something in that vein, and then later he had gouged out his own eyes. So is this some type of mind suggestion, thought suggestion, mind control?
To be honest, I'm not sure what to make of that because I was wondering whether or not he was kind of punishing him for doing what he did, because he was basically mocking the Penguin, right? During that scene where I'm the king of Gotham, I'm not sure where he was. I'm just not sure why he did that to him, because as he's trying to, rehabilitate him. That's why he told Penguin, right? You're in the rehabilitation stage now, and he's rehabilitating him for doing what he was doing. So I don't know though. That was a little weird.
It was a little reminiscent of Dollmacher, actually.
It was. It was a little bit reminiscent of Dollmaker.
with the eyes and everything.
But yeah, I don't know what his, I don't know what Hugo's plan is for that though. That's we'll have to see.
We will have to
On
see.
that one.
Yes.
Um,
They kind of teased something that they didn't go back to, so I guess this will just come up in later episodes. But that was the part of Butch now being the crime boss,
right.
Tabitha climbing on him, and Selena sees it, and then we never went back to. We never
did.
visited that. So, just from that limited amount, any predictions of what is going on?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, someone's got to kind of head the crime, right? I mean, no one else is around,
No,
right?
everyone else, yeah.
I mean, no, Falcone's gone.
Maroney's
Maroney's
gone.
dead. Penguin's out now in Markham. So I mean, yeah, he's got what's
Fish is
left.
gone.
Fish is for now. So yeah, I don't know. I guess Tabitha's clinging on to whoever's in charge, right? So
Now, she was the one who basically brainwashed him.
and yeah, and I kind of got a sense that she was
Still controlling
still
him.
controlling him,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so yeah, that's why. So
In two different ways. One with the mind control, and two with her feminine wiles.
yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I think he's just I think his reign is short lived. Something's gonna give.
And Selena seeing it, I don't know how that's going to progress to anything else.
Yeah, I don't either.
We didn't see Bruce or Alfred
We
this
didn't.
episode.
We didn't. Yeah, and you know what? I just kind of realized that after you said that.
I would imagine
Right.
Selena is going to go to Bruce with this info.
Well, Bruce has the
some reason-
name, right? I mean,
He's got that name, but
so he's
we
got
were
a
led
lot
to
of.
believe that name was just made up by Silver.
Yeah, but I think it's got some weight to it. I think it has some weight to it. I think she tried to play it off. They tried to play it off, but I think it's got some weight to it. S. Malone, right? I think it was S. Malone
I think,
was
yeah.
the name.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's got some investigating to do, detective work.
There's some detecting to do, detective comics.
Yeah.
So Victor Fries turned himself in. He was going to turn himself in until he saw that
Yeah.
his latest
Hilarious.
incarnation worked, and he had some work to do. I don't blame him, because up to this point he hasn't been the best villain. He took the prescription bottle of his wife and threw it at the guy, left it at the crime scene, came back and then froze some people, and then asked the people he didn't freeze to help
Helpful, right?
put it in the car. Not
And
the
then let
best
him go.
villain. And then let him go as he's driving around in his same blue van that the police have been tracking. So maybe being a villain isn't in his blood
Right.
yet.
Yet.
So that's why he went to turn himself in. But obviously now he's not. How does this compare to comic book Mr. Freeze?
Well, Mr. Freeze, he was Mr. Zero, Sub-Zero, I think, first introduced, and then he wasn't Mr. Freeze until the TV show. He showed up on the TV show, I think, and then he was Mr. Freeze, and then and he wasn't, and then his backstory with Nora didn't come until the animated series, and that's what actually the comic book then adapted as canon was. The backstory of his wife Nora.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Man, that show's so good.
Paul Dini, right? I think he
Yeah.
came up with the story. But the New 52 reset it because Nora was not his wife anymore. He was his mom when he was a kid fell in a lake and froze, and he got obsessed with the whole cryostasis and all that stuff. And Nora was a woman in the 40s that Nora Fields, I think her name was in the book. She was frozen in the 40s because she had a really rare heart disease, and their family froze her to see if a cure would ever get. And lo and behold, who had her and who went to go work and study her was at Wayne Enterprises. So Victor Freeze actually worked for Wayne Enterprises and got obsessed with this Nora and fell in love with her as he was trying to find a cure. So he never he called her his wife, but she never knew him.
Huh.
And Bruce found out that he was kind of getting obsessed. He gets all mad at Bruce because Bruce wants to cut him out of the project. He starts throwing stuff. Canisters rip open. He becomes Mr. Freeze.
Oh.
And eventually he does take Nora to still keep finding a cure. So it becomes similar, but it's not an actual wife like it is in the TV show and this in this show, obviously. So, which I think I like this better.
I do.
You know, the actual wife and the
Seems to be more motivation.
yeah. Well, the fact that she's returning the love is good.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Although I guess the other one would make him to be a little bit more unstable if he can fall in love with
Well, it makes him more crazy.
what's
too,
essentially a someone who's frozen.
So
Ibbity.
yeah. Right.
And I just had this totally off topic, but as I was learning that, which I didn't know, and I was like, I thought, you ever noticed? I don't know if you're still watching Comic Book Men, but
I haven't actually in a while.
yeah, but when Kevin Smith is there and around the podcast table, and Walt or someone is saying something, he'll do the.
He does do that.
And I just imagine that they just get on that one camera angle and like, okay, Kevin, give us some reaction shots.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And sometimes he's like,
Yeah. Because it's just the same.
I agree.
every
I
time.
agree.
Look it up if you don't watch the show, and
Yeah, I agree.
maybe someone's done a smash cut of just those reactions. But there's my random thing of the
random off topic.
off topic. Yeah, maybe
subject.
that'll be the thing instead of the I failed Jude's. It's harder to do without Corey here,
I know.
to do those. But
Corey is no more.
he's. Oh my God! What happened
No.
to Corey?
No.
No, he's fine.
He's fine.
well.
He's fine. He's moved on.
Matter of speaking.
Yeah, he's moved on.
Other priorities.
He gave up on Batman.
He's getting his tattoo removed right now.
Yeah, right. Oh man.
That's not true. But we will have other guests here on the red couch as we continue.
I do have to
along.
say real briefly though that while watching this episode, I did get a thought that, you know what? I kind of wish with these villains they would just do a Batman show.
Yeah, I know.
Because I thought it was pretty cool with him. Freeze gun, Mr. Freeze. It's like, man,
Just
where's Batman?
a Netflix series about Batman
Yeah,
would be awesome.
would be awesome. I agree.
Yeah. Anyway,
And then the other thought was just how are they going to make this work into all the other shows? Because this is the only one that doesn't connect.
right.
But yeah,
I don't think they will,
they won't.
unfortunately. That will about do it for this episode. Join us next week when we'll come on again after Gotham, because we are after Gotham. I'd like to thank my guest, David Cottingham. Again, he's dcottingham21 on Twitter. Follow him there. Watch him on the various shows in the upcoming Making a Holocron.
Making holocrons.
Making Holocrons, because apparently we're going to flip more than one Holocron and have to start a new one.
Yeah.
And on the newly branded The Combat Guild podcast and videocast, etc., etc. So until then, I'm Chad Perkins, and you? Oh, this is so right.
I know, right?
This is so right now for this whole last of the season. You stay frosty. Ha!